What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and this is the Thunder Channel on Nootropics. Guys, remember, every shred of information we put on this channel is brought to you by a couple products. Specials on everything right now still. For those of you that did buy one, get one on Cortex. Another one coming soon. We just kind of have to run those a little sparingly, but for now, it's still 20% off for a bottle of Cortex. Use the coupon code 20, livecortex.com. It automatically takes 20% off of a bottle of the Cortex stack. Look, I mean, powerful pre-made stack for everything, especially energy and especially motivation. Look, if you want to take your usage, stacking, experience, and results in using nootropics to the masterclass that's defined as the 6-year mark, you have to watch the video course that teaches you how to do that. It's called Nootropics Masterclass. That is also 20% off right now, livecortex.com. Just use the coupon code 20. Let's see, if you're brand new to nootropics, you have to just start with Nootropics Ground Zero. It's a video course that I created for people that are brand new to stop kind of rummaging through the conflicting dose information out there on Reddit and all the Facebook forums about nootropics. I mean, there's a way to do this the right way, right? Appropriately, in the way that gets you the best results. We show you how to do that from the ground up with Nootropics Ground Zero. Also 20% off. Last thing, look, if you're a business person and need comprehensive help with cognitive performance, it's a results-driven, we've got 3 results-driven consults. One is the 1-month intensive. The next is a 3.5-month intensive. The next is a 6-month intensive. And in all those consults, we work with you very, very intensively, very acutely, very immersion-based, very consistently on a daily basis to get you stacks that work, to fix your adrenal issues, to fix your energy issues, to fix your sleep issues, to fix your test issues, to get you to respond better to nootropics, in general, to make you a high-performing motherfucker. For those of you business people that are serious about that, livecortex.com, all those consults are there. All right, so I want to talk about outside remedies that are needed for people to respond better to nootropics. I mean, this conversation comes up all the time about non-responsive to nootropics. In some cases, it's people taking the same stacks or same compounds too consistently, and thus they develop a really quick tolerance for it, and then they don't respond to the compound the way that they did when they initially started. But if you dive deeper, and I've only been able to do that via consulting people on a one-on-one basis, you find that there is, in a lot of cases, other stuff that has to be fixed in order for them to respond to nootropics. And in cases where people thought, oh, I just built up a tolerance to it, you didn't build up a tolerance to it. You actually have this background adrenal issue or this background electrolyte balance issue or otherwise issue that is causing your unresponsiveness to nootropics. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple different examples, 3 of them that I've seen over time consulting people that might be useful to you to fix, to respond better to nootropics, whether it's modafinil or whether it's racetams or whether it's other stuff in between like Noopept. Okay, number 1, there's a homeopathic treatment that a friend of mine named Lucas Owen turned me on to called Phosphorus 30C. It's phosphorus in a particular kind of formulation that balances blood sugar, balances serum electrolyte functioning, and lowers anxiety. I know that sounds very general, right? Homeopathy is general. It's not a mechanisms-based thing, right? You have certain homeopathic treatments that are for like acid in your throat. Like that's how they term it. They don't even say GERD. They might say this treatment is effective for lack of sleep at night or lack of sexual function. It's very, very general. However, what does seem to be the case in people measured by blood markers is that Phosphorus 30C balances blood sugar level through some action on insulin, balances serum electrolyte function, and also lowers anxiety. Okay, so the anxiety thing, hard to say exactly what mechanistically is causing that. Probably something to do with GABA or a toning down of glutamate firing, but it does work. So I've seen people take Phosphorus 30C. This is something for like $7 you can get on Amazon. It's a sublingual pellet that you take, sit under your tongue for 6 minutes. And then because it has a very long half-life, we're talking about 60 to 90 days, then they respond to nootropics. Then their oxyracetam stack just like rocks them because they wake up with an awesome optimized baseline energy. That's kind of the underlying pillar to being able to respond to nootropics. So that's number 1, Phosphorus 30C. Number 2, I've seen people that raise test respond better to nootropics, particularly dopaminergic nootropics. Testosterone, raising test, if you have a higher test and you raise test, you actually synthesize dopamine better. than you do if you have low test, especially if you're hypogonadal. So I've actually seen dudes that I've been working with on a larger scale basis, like 3.5 months, 6 months, or even 1 month, that needed to increase test. And when we started to get test numbers to jump, the dopamine synthesis started to jump, and then they actually started responding better to compounds that help you to modify dopamine in some way, whether you're creating more dopamine or whether you're kind of optimizing receptor function with dopamine, like in the case of 9-MeBC. And that's incredible. Dopamine synthesis, particularly in the substantia nigra, which is a very critical element in the brain. Go research it, where if you have enough dopamine, you function really well. The synthesis happens there when you raise test. Okay, so that's number 2. Guys, if you're not responding particularly well to dopamine-centric compounds, you might want to think about raising test. I've seen it work. And last one, number 3, is lowering serotonin. Lowering serotonin seems to give people a better response to dopaminergic agents. And to be general about it, the reason is because that system is a very seesaw system, almost like cortisol and testosterone. Too high cortisol, lower testosterone. You must get kind of a testosterone steal from having very high cortisol. The same is true for serotonin and dopamine. Too high quantities of extracellular serotonin, not enough available dopamine. In some cases, not enough dopamine transport, not enough general dopamine production. Serotonin at high quantities is infamously known to almost, it's like it puts a blockade on the release of dopamine in various regions of the brain that are important for you getting a dopaminergic response from a nootropic compound. So I've actually seen people lower serotonin, whether it's with a serotonin antagonist like cyproheptadine or something, or taking a BCAA. Therefore, they had lower serotonin production in general, and then they had a better response to dopaminergic compounds. I've also seen people completely remove foods from their diet that are tryptophan containing, so they don't have very many raw materials to be making enough serotonin. And these are people that have too high serotonin. That is an issue, and it does not make you feel good. It actually blunts your emotions in a substantial way via this inhibition factor on dopamine. I've seen folks remove things like turkey, tuna, bananas in some cases, anything with a large quantity of tryptophan in it, and then get a lowered serotonin response and then a better response from modafinil, a better response from phenylalanine, from bromontane, from these dopaminergic agents that I gotta tell you, man, if you're functioning really awesomely and you take them, they should kick your ass and make you feel totally motivated and super energized and wanting to do work, okay? So I think folks just have to think about outside remedies, things that you have to do. It goes a lot deeper into why you're not responding the way that maybe other people do to nootropics. You know, typically when you have a person that has all these things and more, because there's so many more down the list, I just don't have time to talk about them, and they're all homeostatically regulated, they're all functioning correctly, they just respond awesomely to nootropics. I've gotten myself to that point. At this point, I take lower doses of stuff. You know, I could take 70 milligrams CDP choline, 100 of uridine, B complex, 200 Alcar, 100 theacrine. It's like I took a limitless stack. That's what we talked about just on the previous video, talking about optimizing your baseline makes you have more limitless stacks, and those stacks can be dosed a lot more efficiently. Hope that makes sense. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Remember, everything we put on this channel brought to you by product specials right now. Look, I mean, 20% off the board of everything with the exception of our larger consults using the coupon code 20. We know folks are a little apprehensive to spend money right now. We're just trying to save you money. Use that coupon code, especially on the Cortex stack. I mean, optimized baseline or not, most folks just love the stack. You respond well to it. It gives you energy, makes you want to work. Cortex is just one of those everything stacks. 20% off using the coupon code 20 right now. LiveCortex.com. If you need to take your experience, usage, stacking, results, more importantly, with nootropics to the masterclass, that is the 6-year mark. Look, you got to get the Nootropics Masterclass. It is a video course, about an hour and 12 minutes, shows you how to do it. 20% off LiveCortex.com, coupon code 20. If you're brand new to nootropics, somebody that just came to the channel, thanks so much for being here. You have to just stop here. Go get Nootropics Ground Zero. I created a video course for people that are brand new to take you to the 3-year mark. 20% off LiveCortex.com. Last couple things, if you're a business person and need hardcore immersion-based brain performance enhancement, if you want to get on my level, if you want to get on the level of some of the major biohackers that just seem to be able to function for 18 hours straight and not have an issue, we'll do that with a variety of different remedies, things that we bring in, and especially nootropic stacks with all those consults. 1 month, 3.5 months, 6 months. Last thing I want to say to you guys is make sure you're actually hitting the bell to get notified when new videos come out, because a lot of people email me and say, man, there's like 7 new videos from you and I haven't got notified of it. And I have to tell them, hey, hit the bell. Hit the bell on your subscription to get notified of all the videos that come out, because we are pumping out content crazy. And then just as an announcement moving forward, we've got, Nootropics Ground Zero, and then we have Nootropics Masterclass. That is taking you to the 3 and 6 year mark and using nootropics. I'm creating one that takes you up to the 12-year mark, decades plus of using nootropics. Haven't figured out what to name it yet, but that's coming out soon. Also, every single video that we put out here is now available as a podcast, an audio podcast on iTunes on our channel. So we just shifted from doing podcasts to making all of our videos here double as podcasts so that you can listen to them on the go, on iTunes, on your phone, in your car, or at home when you're drinking coffee and you don't want to see my face or something. Just go subscribe to the Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast on iTunes. Everything here doubles over there. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Talk to you next time.